This is Akashvani Kohima, and I am Lenda Ailly. On the occasion of World Music Day 2026 at the Heritage Old DC Bungalow, Kohima, where music lovers, artists, and performers have gathered to celebrate the universal language of music. Now, in its 11th edition, World Music Day Kohima brings together talented local musicians and bands for an evening of live performances, creativity, and cultural exchange. The event features artists such as Divine Connection, Fifth Note, About Us, Run Monday Run, Arnlong, Atiro Kiho, and Azurudi, along with food and beverage stalls and a vibrant community. Throughout the evening, Akashvani Kohima will be speaking with the organizers, participating artists, and members of the audience to bring you their experiences, stories, and thoughts on what music means to them. Stay tuned as we take you behind the scenes and into the heart of the celebrations.
Hello and welcome to Akashvani Kohima. My name is Jennifer Wotsa, and right now we are here at the Heritage venue where World Music Day is being celebrated with live performance, artists and music lovers coming together for this special occasion. We are joined by someone who has played a key role in bringing this year's celebration to life in Nagaland. Thank you for joining us today. To begin with, could you kindly introduce yourself to our listeners and tell us about your role in this year's World Music Day celebration?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mele Pucho, and I am the organizer of this event. We have been celebrating World Music Day since 2015. So this is our 11th edition.
Wonderful. It's great to have you with us. And let's start with the inspiration behind this celebration. So what inspired this year's World Music Day celebration and what vision guided the event?
So, as a musician myself, I think World Music Day is, especially a day set aside for all the musicians. So, back then in 2015, when we decided to organize this, we thought like it was important for all the musicians to come together, under one umbrella and to celebrate on our own day. So, it's like a birthday for us, for all the musicians, So, what we do is like we bring all the artists, especially the accomplished artists, together to give a treat, to the audience, So, it's all about giving back to the society. So, now we have been organizing this World Music Day concert since 2015, and I think this has been very, very successful. And over the years, I think people have been, really supportive of this show, and still now we are continuing. Yeah.
I must say that that's truly interesting, and especially how you have connected that vision with the community and artists involved. Every successful event has a lot happening behind the scenes, which brings me to my next question. Can you take us through the process of organizing World Music Day in Nagaland this year? Which part required the most planning and coordination?
So as you can see, if you have been following the World Music Day concert, I can, proudly say that, this World Music Day concert, especially in Kohima, is one of the biggest concerts here in the state. Of course, the Hornbill concerts are bigger, but besides that, I think this is one of the biggest concerts, in the state. And to put up a show like this, we don't compromise on the production, we don't compromise on the artists. Every year you will see that, we have the best lineup because we believe that, it's a treat that we have to give to the listeners and to the fans. So we want to give the best treat. So even this year, if you see, if you know, the stakeholders, especially in the music industry, we have the best of the best here. We have, LED team from Life Pro. We have, the lights team from Dimapur, the Mean Machine Pro lights. We have the Beat Device who is, giving the stage. We have Out Loud who is giving their sounds. And we have Unitex, we have CZ Powerline, and also, other who are giving their generator also. Everyone is coming forward, as stakeholders to contribute to this show. And I think if you have been following the show, I would proudly say that, there's a very big show. And to put up this show in this kind of show, I think it requires a lot of help and support. And I think our industry have been very supportive in this area. And so far, by God's grace, I think we have been very successful in conducting this show, yeah.
I must say that it sounds like an enormous effort from the entire team, and it's often the behind-the-scenes work that audience never get to see. So, of course, the heart of any music celebration is the artists themselves. Could you walk us through your artist curation process? How did you balance tribal folk or Naga rock, gospel, and emerging indie acts? And how many are first time performers on this platform?
Yeah. If you see the lineup for the World Music Day every year, you will always see, the best lineup. And that's what we try to do that because like we always, focus of giving a good treat, to our listeners and to the followers as well. This year we have renowned and very popular artists and bands, especially Divine Connection, we all know. They'll bring a mixture of popular songs plus even some Hindi songs as well, Bollywood songs as well. And we have a rock band called About Us, which is, known for their rock. And also Fifth Note, they are both rock bands. And we have met that their music is a little rock fusion, combined with a little traditional music. And of course, we have some soloists as well. Azirudi is there, Atiro, hip hop artist. And we have Aaron Long, a very, very fine guitarist from Mokokchung. So we have tried to balance, we have tried to celebrate all kinds of music. In the past, we have had, dancers as well. We have had choral music as well. So we try to celebrate all the varieties of music. But because keeping in mind of the duration, we try to have it for 3 and 4 hours. We try to keep the lineup very short in the sense like we don't want to go for 5-6 hours and disturb everyone at night. We want to keep the celebration a little shorter as well. So we have tried to do that over the years as well. But we make sure, we celebrate all different genres of music as well. Yeah.
That's a fascinating mix, I should say, and it really reflects both the roots and the evolving sound of Nagaland's music scene. So, and speaking of evolution, what makes this year's edition special and how important are events like this for local artists and the wider music ecosystem?
I mean, every year is special, but this year is going to be more special because like we have already completed our 10th anniversary last year, and this is our 11th edition. For local musicians and especially for stakeholders, especially who are into music industry, I think this show becomes very important. If you see, in our state, Nagaland, besides the Hornbill Festival, I think there are not many shows. There are small gigs happening here and there, but I mean, it has become difficult as a musician, to survive, especially in Nagaland, because people nowadays, they don't appreciate music in the sense, they don't pay to watch music, and it has become difficult, because everyone is stuck in their phones, they can watch live in YouTubes, so they don't come to the venue, when we have ticket systems. So there is always a challenge. But in World Music Day, to put up a show like this, other times I think it's impossible. If we have to put up a show of this scale, without any sponsors, if you see our World Music Day, there's no sponsors at all. Everyone is contributing something. So if we have to put up a show like this, other times it's impossible because this show will cost a lot of money, and only at the government level we can do that. So I think it's special every year for us because as stakeholders, as musicians as well, we all come together to contribute. And even the best of the best artists, they come to perform for free. If they have to charge fees, the fees are it's huge. We cannot afford even to bring one artist. So to bring around 5-6, good artists is impossible. So I think this edition is also going to be very special for us because, like I said, we have already celebrated our 10th anniversary and this is our 11th edition. So looking forward, for the concert, even tonight.
Truly, that's a very important point. Opportunities like this are created visibility, connections, and confidence for artists at every stage of their journey. So as we begin wrapping up our conversation, my question for you is, what message would you like to share with our listeners and everyone celebrating World Music Day?
My only message to our listeners will be, please, support the musicians. I think we are very, very talented. We are blessed with a lot of talented musicians. But the music industry is slowly dying because I think there are very less platforms. At the same time, there are very less, I should say, listeners. So like I've been mentioning, whenever we do concerts, we are always disappointed because many people do not turn up, to support. We are very comfortable, sitting at our home, just getting updates through phones. But I think turning up for a live show and encouraging the musicians, I think that's a very, very big step that we should all take. And I would like to encourage our listeners, please to continue to support our musicians in whatever way. And I think, we together can, contribute a lot to the society, even through music.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and for the work you're doing to support music and artists in the region. Thank you. Today we're celebrating World Music Day with a special guest artist from Nagaland. Thank you for joining us. To begin with, could you kindly introduce yourself to our listeners?
Hi, I'm Madhu Jamir from Ran Mandiran.
I'm Lanu from Ran Mandiran.
How did your music journey begin in Nagaland and what made you say yes to performing for World Music Day this year?
Actually, our band started in the year 2019 and we did a little project for a Hornbill Festival. So that is how we came about. And for this year World Music Day, I feel like music has no no universal language, right? So I feel like today the World Music Day is all about giving it back to the community and, sharing the music.
That beginning really sets the tone for where you are today, and from your journey to your sound. Which song from your set today feels most you and most connected to Nagaland, and what makes it stand out?
I feel like Echoes. Echoes is one of our original song. It's mostly about the old traditional way of living. The song is all about the youngsters who were living in the morongs and all those things, right? I just feel this song.
I should say that that's really powerful. Sounds like your music carries both identity and emotions. And of course, every artist has challenges behind the music. So, what's one major challenge you have faced growing as a musician here, whether it's gear, training, or performance opportunities, and how did you overcome it?
I think comparing to nowadays, there's no such issue regarding the opportunity, the platforms, or even the gears, the equipments, the production work. Everybody will have a different opinion, but in my own opinion, I think there's no such issue that we have particularly faced. But small things, hiccups, it's here and there, so we somehow tackle that in our own, point of view.
And your roots also play a big role in your style. What message do you hope your music conveys to your listeners today?
Our music is, we call it electronic folk. So it's all about folk songs. So nowadays, our young generation present, they are not much aware of our traditions. It's all about the young generations connecting to the roots, taking back to the roots. Yeah.
That message really adds depth to your music. And my final question is, any message for our listeners and everyone celebrating World Music Day today?
I would convey the listeners Happy World Music Day, and people who are at home trying to take this platform as a musician, I would give an encouragement that nothing is impossible, and one day you might be in the same stage as we are. So once again, Happy World Music Day.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your music with us. Could you quickly introduce yourself and your journey as a musician?
Hey, hello. Thank you so much. We are Fifth Note, and yes, we are excited to be a part of this program. Regarding our journey, we started our music journey during the year, kind of 2018, and yes, it was not easy. There were ups and downs, and yes, we united ourselves together to take this obstacle and all those obstacles. We say yes to this World Music Day because this is the only platform where all the music lovers come together as one and unite ourselves and showcase their talents and to show love to one another. So we love this platform very much.
Thank you so much. And from your journey to your sound, what's one major challenge you have faced growing as a musician here, whether it's gear, training, or performance opportunities, and how did you overcome it?
The challenges here in Nagaland would be lack of opportunities. Unlike other cities, we don't get much platform to showcase our music. I suppose that's the only challenge. We're still pushing for that, trying to make it big, even if it's in other cities and not just here.
That struggle really shows the effort behind everything that you have succeeded so far. And looking ahead now, after today's performance, what's the next step in your musical journey?
Our next step after this is make our second album. We're currently working on that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's something really exciting to look ahead. And before we wrap up, what message do you hope your music conveys to your listeners?
We want our listeners to enjoy our music. Yes, of course, there's lots of messages in our lyrics, and yes, we want to tell the viewers that we love them and we love everybody. Thank you for supporting us, and so just enjoy the music. That's it. And last not the least, we have to keep first God whatever we do, so that when we keep God first, He will surely open the way for us. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Akashvani Kohima. Today we're celebrating World Music Day with a special guest artist from Nagaland. Thank you for joining us. And to begin with, could you kindly introduce yourself and your journey as a musician?
Hi everyone, my name is Atiro Kiho and I'm a freestyle rapper from Kohima, Nagaland.
Great to have you here. My first question for you is, how did your music journey begin in Nagaland and what made you say yes to performing for World Music Day today?
My music journey began in Nagaland. Growing up, I was inspired by the music around me and developed a strong passion for rap. I was drawn to rap because it allowed me to express my thoughts, emotions and experiences through powerful storytelling. I started writing my own lyrics, practicing my craft and eventually recording music. Today, I continue to grow as a rapper and use my mic to connect with people and share my story.
That's truly a fascinating journey, I should say. And I should say that, of course, every artist has challenges behind the music. So what's one major challenge you have faced growing as a musician here, maybe in gears or training or performance opportunities, and how did you overcome it?
One major challenge I faced in my music journey was believing in myself when I was just starting out. As an independent rapper from Nagaland, it wasn't always easy to get recognition or reach a wider audience. There were times when I doubted my abilities and felt discouraged. However, I kept working on my music, improving my skills, and staying consistent. That challenge taught me resilience and made me more determined to pursue my passion.
That's really an inspiring story that you have. For your struggles have shaped you till here today. For the final closing question, so is there any message for our listeners?
Well, thank you for rocking with me. Stay blessed, stay happy, and keep streaming my songs. Thank you so much.
Can you kindly introduce yourself to our listeners?
Hi, my name is Ato. I am the keyboardist of Fifth Note.
Hello, I'm Jupiter and I'm the bassist.
Thank you, good to know you. And can you describe today's event in one word?
Rocking.
Awesome.
Hello, can you describe today's event in one word?
Universal language.
Hi, my name is Lino and I'm so excited for tonight's event.
Hi, my name is Ketosi and I'm really excited.
With that, we come to the end of our special coverage from World Music Day 2026 here in Kohima. It's been an evening filled with great music, inspiring conversations, and a wonderful atmosphere. You can also listen to our program by downloading the NewsOnAir app via Play Store. We will be back with more enticing programs in the days ahead.